Google how to define an ICP. Let's see if there's anything in here.
It's funny that you still Google and you don't go to chat.
I could go to ChatGPT and do it. There's so much noise on social media now that it's just like,
yeah.
Like, let's do a mission adapt meeting and see where.
Right.
Yeah, we were only going to do a 10-minute discussion anyway, so.
Yeah, not a long one.
Yeah.
And I just upped my iCloud account, so we can do 2 terabytes of video right now.
Oh wow. Okay, so we just leave that running.
Yeah, just leave it running. We'll just see what happens.
Cool.
Okie dokie. Yeah. Okay, so what did we have last time?
Good question.
Good question. Always good questions.
Last time we were talking about our marketing strategy discussion quite a lot.
Yeah.
I think we need to get a good idea of what our ideal customer profile is. Like what is
the ICP.
What is the person that we're trying to target? We're trying to help.
Mm-hmm.
What fears do they have? What do they wake up and dream about?
Mm-hmm.
What do they hope? Those kind of things.
How do they see the future? Their future? Yeah. What are the obstacles?
Yeah. I was trying to do more videos on these topics, which maybe we'll go into in a bit. And then there was, I had the idea about the email marketing campaign, but I think you're right. We decided that we need to build a bit more of a base first before we start with.
Yeah, I think that was the discussion marketing of last time, right? Yeah. Like first try to build a bigger audience, because now it's like 18 or 19 something. Mm-hmm. On LinkedIn and no followers yet on email.
Yeah.
So before we start talking email sequences, I like the idea of diving into the ICP a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This is what day are we on? Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday.
Okay. Let me just put this in our random meeting notes. So what is our ICP? Or who is our ICP, I should say. Okay, that's a good topic, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's probably just a general one about, okay, you just said about growing our followers.
Yeah.
Let's keep talking about that. That sounds quite important, right? So,
yeah.
And this, I think, is... We've got an idea of these, but like, what are the experiments that we're going to run? How are we going to order them? How are we going to prioritize them? So we can't do them all at the same time. Yeah. There's video. There's liking comments on LinkedIn, which we tried.
Yeah, I tried it for a couple of days. Mm-hmm. It just grew as like 2 or 3 followers. Mm-hmm. I did do some nice comments on Mission Adapt account. Mm-hmm. But I think we should continuously do that to actually make a dent. Mm-hmm. Because now when somebody sees like, oh, Mission Adapt has added something to this post, they say, oh, nice. Mm-hmm. But they don't actually look at the page itself, because they see like 18 followers. This is a nobody yet.
So what do we do with that? The liking test.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of just like
carrying on.
Yeah, I want to keep on carrying.
Continue with the test. Yeah.
Continue the test.
Okay.
But like we discussed last time, also it's like, okay, it's a brand. It's not a person behind it.
That is a problem with this.
That's people tend to follow people faster than a brand. So the comments come from either you or me with our tone of voice, not so much the tone of voice of Mission Adapt.
It's a
which makes it hard in all cases.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategic point, really, right? Because maybe there is an argument where we just focus on let's build more content, but let's do it under our own names. Mm-hmm. And then when we have an audience, drive that to the Mission, that brand. But that in itself is a lot of investment and time. Just
because
anything creating an audience like that is going to take consistent effort.
Yeah, because I notice it with my own personal brand. It is growing, but I need to make a post I make a post every day. You need to comment, and that takes quite a lot of effort. And it's not growing exponentially fast. It's growing bit by bit by bit by bit.
Well, here's a thought exercise. What if we didn't need it to grow exponentially fast? Kind of segueing onto ICPs, right? If we target a specific niche of people that really want the stuff that we're creating, that we can put that content out there, that somehow manages to find them, do we need to worry about building an audience, or will that come? I mean, we're instead of building the audience, we're going to where they already are and trying to laser focus, help them with something that we think we can help them with.
Yeah.
And then once we get 1, 2, 3 people, then we can get 5, 10, 20, and then the community comes. Instead of, let's throw stuff out
like
into the
big
ether.
And hope somebody catches.
There's so much noise on social media now that it's just like, like this.
Yeah.
That maybe.
Okay, so that hinges on finding the right ICP.
Yeah. Also, there's what do we want it to be known for?
Yeah.
Like what as part of that strategy. Okay.
So that's that. Just a quick update. I added the new products to the website and Gumroad.
Thank you. Yeah.
So that's up and running, and I actually created a couple of posts in the marketing posts, because I do think that is something that I would like to continue with, like use AI or Claude to write some texts.
Yeah.
Restructure them in a way that we like it, and then post them.
I was thinking about trying to build something for this as well. So that's another topic.
Yeah, because you discussed creating a AI model, right?
Yeah.
That can do that.
Yeah, we can talk about that in a minute if you want to as well.
Yeah.
I guess from my side, in terms of the update, what have I done? I have I think you've probably already seen it, but I have the final freebie live.
Yep.
About you finding your higher purpose. So that's live. Now my focus really on the next 3 days or this week is to put these freebie Notion templates into the Canva template. So I started doing that this morning when I had a bit of time, so that we can have these PDF downloads, and then you can put those across. Then we've got those. My Canva renews in about 3 or 4 days, so I want to try and get it done before having to pay for my subscription.
Free subscription.
Well, you gotta look after that.
How many emails do you have?
Well, that's what you do when we need the next one. So, yeah.
Oh, I can make indefinite emails. Check 1, check 2, check 3.
Yeah. No, so I'm going to try and focus on that for the next couple of days, just so that that's done and out of the way. Then I think I agree, as we said. Then it's on content creation things.
Yeah.
So where I really want to, I actually did a bit of work on some of my other AI projects at the weekend. So I managed to get it working where I have an AI assistant that can write me a draft response to an email.
Okay.
Not perfect. It's not a great email, but it basically just looks and waits for emails to come in, and then it will respond to them. And when I go onto my email, there's a draft sitting there if I leave it running on my machine. It's just a fun little side project. But now that's done, I think working on this content workflow thing would be valuable. But I think before we do that, let's define who our ICP is and what we want to be known for. I think it feeds from our manifesto slightly, probably, so we can use that as a reference.
Yeah.
And then once we've got that, then we can talk about the content.
Okay.
Creation.
And how would you program the AI model? Like say.
Well, okay. If you want to talk about that, so I would use. There's a library called Crew AI. Crew AI is a framework that uses a language model. So by default, it connects to ChatGPT-4, but we can put anyone in there. ChatGPT-4 kind of works well, but there's some other conversational ones we can play with that. And then you set up a crew, and this is AI assistants that do different things. So there would be one that is a researcher, one that is, I don't know, SEO, and the other one is the draft writer, and the other one's the LinkedIn expert, for example. And one of them picks up an idea and says, okay, I'm going to come up with ideas for this. I'm going to write a framework, a topic for that post. The other one goes and says, okay, what are the SEO keywords that we want to try and target? Maybe we can tell it that, but... and then it drafts the post, and then it would convert it to kind of a LinkedIn format that we want to. So that was just off the top of my head. But what I was thinking we could do is we could have a list of content ideas that we think are important or think are interesting. One of them goes and looks at that and says, let me do some random research and come up with 10 ideas that they can do. Those 10 ideas are then each fed into another one that drafts a concept. And then there's another one that converts it into a no more than 20 lines LinkedIn post. And I was also thinking to ask it to go, do this 3 times, so that we have 3 draft LinkedIn style posts that you can use as a draft, and then we can go, okay, that line's good, this line's good from that one, and that line, I'll put it all together and mix it up so that there's a base for what we can use for each post, without too many words, because it's going to come and want to spit out a 500 word, 1,000 word blog post. But what we would do is then go, okay, what are the minimum interesting bits that we can do, and also we can train it in a way to use, say, popular viral LinkedIn posts, so that it can use that as a database to kind of learn from and say, okay, this is what the format is that we want. So we need to plan it in a little bit more detail and write down the exact expectations that we have for them, but you basically give, as you would prompt anything, you give it a role, you give it a goal that it's trying to do, and you give it maybe a tool, say you can search the internet, or you can go and read my email, or anything else like that.
So you would do the same as you would do with colleagues, right?
Yeah,
if you work in a real team, somebody writes...
Basically, we're building a team of... an artificial team of AI assistant people, fake things, that can do simple repetitive tasks. And in its simplest sense is what I would hope is I can sit here and go, press a button. It will cost money, but I press a button, I run it for an hour, we get 100 post ideas that are just there in a draft. Maybe it costs, I don't know, it's hard to say, 20 euros for 100 post drafts. That is expensive. They're getting cheaper all the time, but it's still expensive. But the fact that we can have 100 drafts in an hour is probably pretty good, that we can then just edit, basically. Yeah. So, and there's some tests that we could do to make a simpler flow without making it into like I can create a custom GPT where we have 3 custom GPTs that we string them together and simply just copy and paste it manually to test it and see if it works. So it'd be fun to. I'd be up for trying to do that. I think that would be
cool. Yeah.
Interesting. We will need to. Within that flow is what agents we want, what their goals are, what their outputs are. We probably need to capture some good examples to base it on.
Yeah.
Good example posts. And that. Oh, and obviously the prerequisite is to have our kind of marketing, our content pillars, I call it. An idea of what the content pillars and the problems that we want to focus.
Yeah, I think the manifest is already provided.
The manifest will give that. Us doing that, like getting into detail with this ICP will help, I think, as well. Okay. And I think we could relatively simply do that, hopefully.
Okay. Yeah. You want to do the ICP now?
Yeah. I want to do the ICP now.
Okay. Yeah. It seems to be the source of everything.
Yeah, because if we know who we want to. That's the first thing to do. Google how to define an ICP. Let's see if there's anything in here.
It's funny that you still Google and you don't go to chat.
I could go to ChatGPT and do it. It's a good point because ChatGPT's right there. Yeah. It's just on a different tab. But I use ChatGPT. I find I go, okay, what model do I want to use? How do I give it enough context? I end up writing an essay which takes longer because I want to get a good output from it than just going how to do this in Google and having someone else
check the door.
Get the door. Run down the other end and run back.
Yeah. The castle.
Yeah. All right. So first thing I'm doing, looking at what is an ICP.
Yeah.
Just to see if there's anything useful in here. This is more about B2B sales with an ideal customer profile, but it's basically talking about collect data and analysis, both qual, quant, and predictive. We have some qualitative information based on the conversations we've had, and predictive based on our experiences, but not particularly quant. ICP creation. Categorize and share the ICP to drive buy-in. I guess they mean buy across these different areas, the environmental, the behavioral, and firmographic.
Firmographic, what is firmographic?
That's a great question. Let's see what it says.
I've never heard of the word firmographic.
Yeah, and other systems to identify firmographic. Yeah, this is another Google. New tab. What does firmographic mean? Also known as
Emporographics or firm demographics.
Oh, it's for organization. Demographics for organizations.
Ah, okay.
We don't.
Firm. Graphics.
Okay,
demographic. The demos is the people, and firm is the firm.
That doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
That doesn't matter to us. We're not targeting firms.
Okay, so let's shoot from the hip.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, we will need to refine it anyway.
I mean, this is interesting. You can define your ideal customer profile into these characteristics, right? Budget, revenue, company size, the industry, the geography, legality,
legal status,
and product or service limitations. Okay. Kind of makes sense, but most of this is B2B. Sorry. All right. So from the hip.
So I think what we're targeting is people who are in between their 30s and 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the younger generation already knows how to maneuver. Or maybe not.
I would challenge that. I think they're more insecure and haven't done it before.
Yeah.
So I think they might be more insecure and want some guidance and support from elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree. I don't think we would focus on the 20-year-olds just yet. They're probably more, I'm figuring out what I'm doing. Yeah. I need to get a job somewhere or do this. Kind of 30-year-old plus, where you've gone, okay, I've been in career for a while.
I'm stuck in this niche.
I'm looking for something more meaningful.
Yeah. Or I don't know how to jump to another.
Yeah. Interesting you say all the way up to 50s and 60s.
Why is it interesting?
Well, I wasn't originally considering that, but when you think about it, someone in their 50s and 60s, they actually have the hardest time looking for work and trying to create something because no one wants to hire them.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Actually,
you're expensive, you're old. These are the...
I actually quite like saying we target them. We want to help people, and I think it's unfair that they often get overlooked. 50 to 60-year-olds.
50 to 60, yeah.
But that is a very broad segment.
Yeah, it's too broad. But the thing is that every segment has their own pros and cons, or each segment has their own difficulties, right? Yeah. Everybody above 45 is already considered old. I recently
find out, did you?
Somebody at the gym saying, "Oh, no, I'm old. I'm 35," and I went, "What?" Yeah, everybody above 45 is like really old. No way. Anyway, so but in between your 30 and 40, you already got like an area that you're working in, that you're getting better at. Mm-hmm. And I think that these people have the highest risk of being ousted by new technologies.
What makes you say that?
Because they don't have experience yet. Not a lot.
Okay, so they're in that.
They're easy. They're most easy to replace.
Yeah.
And people that are like in 40, 50 area, they are more experienced, more senior. They know how they've seen a couple of technological revolutions already go by, so that they are slightly more agile in their approach, I think.
Okay.
They're not bound to tools. Maybe that's the thing. Like if you're a junior or a mid-year, you're still learning the tools, right? So you're relying heavily on the tools.
Yeah.
And obviously AI will replace a lot of tooling, or it will be different tooling, but it will also replace a lot of a need for people who know how to tool or know how to craft something. If you just run, I mean, if you're
I think tooling point is a very good one, because AI is a new tool. Are we going to try to target people that are leaning into using that new tool, or are leaning away from a new tool? Because I think that can happen at any age. Some people are, and not just technology as a tool, but some people are leaning into and more open to trying new things, and other people are scared and shy away from, I know Excel, but that's it, I don't want to learn anymore because it's hard. I don't want to do it. Right? I think my view, at least, is those types of people you're not going to get to change. They're going to be difficult to do anything, so they're not going to want to work with us.
They have a closed mindset.
And they have a closed mindset anyway. The people that are super keen and want to learn stuff, they're going to go and do it themselves. So they're not really for us either. It's the people in the middle between that, the people that go, I know this AI thing, but I've tried it, but I'm not sure. Like, how else can I? They want a bit more confidence in hand-holding and some guidance in what they are doing, is where I think. So they're open to new tools, but want support in how to most effectively use them. Yeah.
Well, it's that, and the whole mission is to help people thrive in this new economy where purpose-driven is finally a thing, and also new tech like AI just changes the landscape of work. So I think this is why I'm sort of leaning into the 30, 45, 50 group, because this is also the group that now finds out that, what society told me, like I should have like 2 cars or a Lamborghini or become rich and famous, or like
the American dream.
The American dream is not really a dream; it's a nightmare. Or it can be a nightmare. And there are more important things than material stuff. I need purpose in life to be happy.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So and you need a certain maturity. I'm not saying that they're now mature 20-year-olds. It's just that.
No, I think you're right, and I think there's definitely a demographic, should we say, of people that care about more and want to keep growing for all definitions of the word, not necessarily in good ways, but in just having more money and more things, and I don't think we are that, and I think we want to say, actually, we want to focus on people that have had that realization and say, okay, look, I have a house, I'm married, I have children, but I'm not happy. Like what am I missing? I was told this was the way to be. That's the type of person that I think we want to say, okay, how can we help them transition from, okay, you've got those things, but you want to have more meaning and purpose so that they can do something that they want to wake up for in the morning. Also, last time we actually started to get a list of what their biggest fears were, which I think is a good one to keep in mind.
So what is the biggest fear of our ICP?
Well, last time we wrote, will my job exist in 10 years' time? And The other one was what will happen with AI, climate, something else. So.
And another fear is that they don't get enough, or that they don't get out of life what they could have.
Oh, that one's deep. Yeah.
But this is something which only old people after 40 have.
I think about that too sometimes. I do. Well, I get everything out of life that I thought I wanted. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or is it, will I achieve everything that I thought I would?
Yeah, exactly.
Will I achieve everything that I thought I wanted? Yeah. That's a profound one, for sure. It kind of along these lines, but where will I get money if I lose my job? But I don't know if that's another.
Yeah, I think that's a very that's one of the challenges that I think we must find out for ourselves as well. But it's nice, all these people that say get into solopreneurship or have multiple revenue streams. Yeah, but how and where? Yeah. I mean, how many LinkedIn courses can you sell?
Yeah. Right? I mean, there's an element of doing this. You've got to do the work. Yeah. You can do a LinkedIn course. I'll keep doing them every day for 5 years, but you're not going to get anywhere unless you actually do the work. Is that fear though? How?
Yeah, what I meant is like what you see some of the gurus say is like, okay, just create a course on something that you're good at and start building something and build revenue out of that. But my question is like, how many things are there to make courses on? Or and this is what I meant with like, how many LinkedIn courses can there be?
If every marketer on LinkedIn makes a LinkedIn course about marketing, you're going to have, I don't know, 200 million marketing courses. That's
exactly. Nobody.
Which is, it's a fear there, not knowing how to start.
Yeah, also well. Like, what should I do? I talked to a couple of guys that are and girls that wanted to quit their corporate jobs, and they
not sure.
They're not sure. Yeah, exactly. Like, maybe interested in being adaptable to the future.
Okay. What else have we got in here? Do you want to talk about their household income? Geography?
Yeah.
Industry?
Yeah, well, it is an interesting question. Like, are we targeting people that already have savings because they had a good income and now they are like, I want to do something with my life? Or
that's a good question.
Or are we also targeting people that already struggle and will probably struggle more with all the changes that are going to take place in the next couple of years, and help them also to survive or thrive if they can, but survive at least?
My short answers are both.
It's both.
I'd like to say, can we do both? Is that possible? But you've got one person that, if I imagine some guy, corporate consultant, earns loads of money, has decent savings, and we're like, hey, go and do this thing that's more meaningful to you. Yeah. We're like, cool.
Plant trees. Yes.
Yeah, great. I don't have to work for a year. I'm just going to go and do this thing. I'm already a consultant. I've got loads of people. Versus someone else who's living paycheck to paycheck, and we say the same thing, and they're going to go,
yeah, no fucking way.
Yeah, how the hell am I supposed to do that?
Yeah.
The premise of this is it's going to take time, though. I don't think you can. It's not a get quick fix.
No, you need to like warm up one and then cool down the other.
And take time, and part of the message could be, you probably should be saving at least 20% of your paycheck, whatever, if you can.
Quit smoking, quit drinking, put the money aside.
Yeah.
If you already have that.
If you can, yeah.
If you can.
Yeah. But I would like to think that we could provide value to both. And it might be that we create two personas from that and one targets the other. Probably easier for us to start with the person that has the savings, not going to lie.
No. Yeah. Business-wise, that's going to be easier. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing that I'm slightly worried about is that we're creating this elite kind of.
I don't want it to be that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what in the Netherlands they have a lot of. There's this political parties that are like left wing and they want a green planet, etc. All the good stuff. But everybody who's not in the position, who's not living in Amsterdam in a luxury house, they say like, yeah, that's easy for you to say because you already have everything,
all of that,
and then it's easy to.
I think this is a really good point. So how do we not do that? Is it starting with first principles and making sure that we're never making any assumptions and assuming that someone is only able to do the bare minimum, for example, and say, how can we provide value if you are in that position?
Yeah.
If you
can only spend 15 minutes a day or
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say target people with limited time and budget. And disposable income. Is that fair to say?
What is disposable income?
Well, if you earn 2,000 a month, but you spend 2,000 a month, you don't have any disposable income.
Okay, yeah. Right? That what you can dispose of.
Dispose of, yeah. With limited time. So, minimum amount of time, assuming you don't have any money to put down onto it. But we can still try and help you to say, okay, build up your network, go and speak to people, get into the habit of doing something 15 minutes every single day.
Yeah.
And if you can do more and if you've got the savings, great. Here's another way that you can do it. Okay.
So what do you want to do next? Because we have 15 minutes before Muay Thai starts. Well, we need to change clothes.
We got to change clothes and get down there. Okay. Is this enough for us to define what our ideal customer profile is? I think it's a good start. Male and female, I'm assuming.
Everybody.
Everyone, doesn't matter where they're from or whatever. Yeah. So, alien. Cow. Yes, they need more. Let's give them some more grass.
Do they have disposable income?
They got time.
They got time. Milk.
Milk. And they have a product or service they can sell.
Yeah. We can milk the cow.
I like some of these biggest fears and questions that they have.
Yeah.
How they make the transition. Is there something like, how do I grow on work's time?
How do I grow?
How do I learn on my employer's time? I mean, it's a cheeky one, right? But most employers have some form of personal development that you can do.
Yeah.
I would never make time for it because it would always be meetings and this and that and everything, and it was hard. But how do we help people?
How can you leverage the opportunities that you're given?
Exactly. Maybe it's not a biggest fear, but that's something that we can encourage people to do. Opportunities.
Yeah, find the possibilities that you have instead of saying like, okay, I don't know where or how or what.
Find the possibilities in front of you. Yeah, it's like, oh no, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Well, hang on, let's take a different viewpoint of that. Yeah. You get someone to come in from external and say, okay, I don't know anything about you or your situation. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
You can get it's kind of that coaching thing that has a different different angle to it.
Yeah, for instance, I just renewed I downgraded my telephone contract, which I paid like 50 euros a month.
Oof.
Because it was like 8 years ago was a good deal because I was traveling a lot and I had this European.
Okay.
But now because the European laws are changed, everybody you should be able to call without roaming costs in Europe. But I was still stuck on the old mindset of no, I need to have the big package because I need to be able to download stuff
and you didn't
overseas.
Change it.
And I never changed it, and now I was like, why? The 14 euro package or subscription gives the same as what I had like 8 years ago. So I just changed it, and it saves you 25, 30 euros a month. And this seems small, but it's a good amount of money.
Yeah, I mean, there's some. Maybe this goes in here. What do we know for leveraging things in front of you? That could be savings on bills, for example. Yeah, it's a good story.
Some things are right in front of you and you don't see it.
Yeah. I've just rewritten this, but okay.
Okay.
I think that's a good starting point.
Yep.
What do we want to do next with that?
So I think that we should have the list of topics that we want to discuss. I think it would be a nice experiment to already check a couple of or get a couple of topics from GPT or Claude or whatever.
Yeah, from AI.
And match it with the ICP.
Yeah, I think there's probably a couple of prompts that we can do to say, okay, here's a manifesto, here's things about our ideal customer profile. I think we need to define what our main content pillars are. Here's I can't remember if they're in our manifesto. But if we had that, we can feed it to a marketing or a content creation AI assistant, and then it can start spamming stuff out.
Yeah.
Manifesto. Trends we see, our values, and a call to action. Yeah, so the trends that we see is probably the closest, right? Yeah. Personal fulfillment over greed, remote work in the global economy, artificial intelligence and automation, purpose and impact growth in the economy, flexible workers with multiple jobs and activities, that's that multiple revenue streams thing, and lean self-improvement for personal and professional skills. Okay.
Yeah, I think these trends are they the pillars? Yeah, I think so.
You think?
Well, they're not the same as the pillars, but they are the foundational topics that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
And relate to each other. Like you could talk about personal development, but how does that relate to AI or remote work in a global economy, like or having probably has to do with purpose driven.
My idea for these content pillars would be things like when to leave your job, or how to know when to leave your job,
or create a new job,
or how to run a test, how to make your first sale. I don't know. I mean, this is granular level kind of things. But where would these all fall? These fall in, I guess, the flexible workers with multiple jobs.
Multiple jobs and activities.
Okay.
Like how do you manage that? I think, for instance, we could do a course on how to manage your administration and customers and all these kind of things.
Yeah, the business admin stuff. Yeah, stuff. Yeah, how to use AI
to do the business
admin. Do the admin stuff. Yeah, but also like AI for content creation, or the corporate escape planner of, okay, how do you find out what's in front of you? How do you find out what's meaningful to you?
Yeah.
I don't know if we have time now, but I think it'd be good to rephrase some of these into
more
content pillars.
Yeah.
And then when we have all of those, I think that's when we can feed that into an AI and do that. And I could probably do that remotely.
Okay.
Do a Zoom or something and show you it.
Yeah, I think we need to call it a day for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next time. I'm sure we've got it. Next time is define content pillars, or define/reword. And okay, create an MVP content flow. So we've got that.
Yep.
I think that's it right now. And then once we've got that, we can start building more of a system. That's the content creation, but then there's the managing, the sharing the system, and the liking.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.